your yoga practice, ease your mind, and the general kicking butt that you do in the everyday life. Let's get started in child's pose. If you are interested in hearing more about that breathwork workshop or the meditation workshop we have coming up on the 21st, get at me after class and we can dive into those details and get you enrolled. So right here, start to integrate into your mat right away. Just noticing the textures beneath you, the warm air on your skin. And then take your attention to and notice the breath that you came in here with. What qualities are present there? Maybe it's shallow, maybe it's deep, maybe it's got an interesting texture to it, or some sort of color that you might be able to associate with it. And now from that foundation of knowing exactly where the breath is, can you start to lengthen your inhales and your exhales? Now add in that pause at the top of your inhale and at the bottom of each exhale. Where you are filling up completely, get to the point where you can't take any more breath in, and that's where that pause resides. And then as you exhale completely and get to where there's no breath left to expel from your lungs, that's where that pause lives. The word vinyasa literally means like to place things in a sacred way. And that's how we work here with the breath, with the flow. We place the breath in a way that it matters. So it takes you through the rest of your practice with a bit more ease. Take one more full breath in here. Exhale it out completely. Downward facing dog. Go ahead, walk out your dog here. Bend one knee and then the other. Take your hips side to side. Make whatever movement you feel called here to make. To knock the spider webs out of your joints and get ready to move. Let's sync up with our neighbors here. On your inhale, lift your heels to the ceiling. Exhale, lower down toward the floor. 2 more like that. Fill up and empty. Last one, inhale. Exhale it out. Move your feet to your hands. Halfway lift. Ragdoll. Pull the pit of your belly all the way up and towards your spine. Nice. Go ahead right here. Let your head drop. Let your shoulders drop. Yeah, and then anything you came in here with, let that roll off your shoulders. Oh, I like that. You take a little shake side to side. Press down through your feet. Big toe mounds, the center of both heels. Turn the inner ankles out slightly. Can you feel the lift that creates all the way up through your hips? On your next inhale, we're going to roll all the way up. Extended mountain, reach up, look up. Hands at heart center. And we'll begin with 3 ohms together. Full breath in. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale to fold. Halfway lift, create that long flat back. Chaturanga, step or hop back. Upward facing dog on your inhale. Downward facing dog on your exhale. Breath in together and blow it out. 2 more. Fill. and empty. Yeah, just like that. Lift up on the inhale, empty completely. Feet to your hands, halfway lift. Fold. Extended mountain, reach up, look up between your fingers. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Full breath in and out. 2 more, fill up and empty. Lift your heels. Bend and hover your knees. Step or jump to the top of your mat. Half lift. Fold. Extended mountain. Pull your front ribs into center. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breath in and out. You got 1 more sun. Fill up and empty. Last one, get springy. Prepare to move. Feet to hands, halfway lift. Fold. Extended mountain press down through your heels. Fold. Half lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Full breath in. Exhale it out. Any extra heat that you don't need. Last one, fill up. Empty. Feet to your hands, halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose, sit low, reach high. Fold. Half lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Down dog. Right side warrior 1. Come down low in your lunge. Chaturanga on your exhale. Upward facing. Down dog. Left side. Step, reach, gaze up. Chaturanga on your exhale. Upward facing dog. Drink it in. Downward facing dog. Let it go. Breath in together. Let it go. Yeah, if your pace ends up a little different than your neighbor's, different than what I'm calling, that's perfect. 1 more breath in here. You empty completely. Jump forward. Half lift. Fold. Chair pose. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Get to the pause at the bottom. Up dog. Down dog. Right side warrior 1. Up on your inhale, chaturanga on your exhale. Up dog, down dog, left side. Press down, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Breath in, let it go. Yeah, 2 more, fill and empty. Last one. Empty out, feet to your hands, halfway lift, fold, chair pose and pause, sit lower. Right away, press all of your feet into the floor, all 4 corners. Can you lift and spread your toes here? Nice, take your gaze between your fingers. 1 more breath in to get long, fold, half lift, chaturanga. Up dog, down dog, right side warrior 1. Inhale to rise, chaturanga. Upward facing, down dog, step through on the pause, left side warrior 1, fingers up, chaturanga. Upward facing, downward facing dog. Big breath in. Let it go. Lift your right leg up behind you. Press it past the back of your mat. Now, everyone, flex your foot. Dial all 5 of those toes down towards your mat. So extend your leg as long as it can go. How much of that flexion can you get out of your knee here? Nice. Now keep all that length in both sides. Bend your knee, open your hip, stay here or flip your dog. Let that foot land on 12 o'clock. Maybe even look towards your knees here to see that they're headed straight out from your hips. One more breath. Both hands down, side plank on your right. Spread your fingertips. See that your wrist here is parallel to the front edge of your mat. Nice. Now press down, lift that top leg. One more breath. Chaturanga on your exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Full breath in. Exhale it out. Lift your left leg up behind you. Press it back. Lift and spread your toes here. Nice. Now press down equally in both hands. Bend your knee. Open your hip. Stay or flip. Send the center of your chest toward the ceiling. So can you peel your left arm back onto your back? Open it up for one more breath. Both hands down, side plank on your left. Reach through your fingertips. Like, what would it take to reach up 2 more inches? Last big breath. Chaturanga on your exhale. Upward facing, downward facing dog. Come back to your breath here. Reorganize. We're just getting the body awake. So sometimes the breath comes on a bit strong. Notice that the air you're sending out at the top of your exhale is the same amount of air that you're sending out, welcome, at the bottom of your exhale. One more breath here. Step your right foot forward for crescent lunge. Sink down low right away. So the back foot here, we want the heel pointed all the way up toward the ceiling. Now create in your body here some stability. You want to press this heel all the way back. Press into my hand, Chuck. Yes, and just like you had somebody pressing on the back of your heel, how are you going to make that difficult for them? Yeah, make my life difficult. Last breath in. Hands to heart center, twist to your right. Whatever you're doing with your hands here, make it meaningful. So if your hands are staying at heart center, press them together. If you're extending your arms, press out. Like, how much space can you create between your shoulders here? Last breath in. Twist it out. Back to crescent lunge. Warrior 2. Come down low in your lunge. Nice. So we want to feel here that our hips are right about the same level as that front knee. So your knee is going to be right at 90 degrees. Nice. Now, Kelly and everyone, take your knee just a little bit further over toward the right side of your mat till you can see that it's tracking straight over your middle toe. Nice. Stay with your breath. You've got one more. Extended side angle. Reach your fingertips all the way past the front of your mat. So rather than reaching toward the ceiling, reach over here toward the windows. One more breath here. Can you reach both arms forward? One more breath. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Full breath in. Exhale it out. Step your left foot forward. Crescent lunge on this side. Come down low right away. This can be taken with your right knee down. For a lot of us, that's going to give us some more access to lifting up through the pelvis, through the crown of the head. Pull your shoulders straight back. Nice. And can you start to create here that crescent shape? Take your gaze up and then take it back. Nice, Kristen. Nice, Hawa. One more breath. Hands to heart center, twist to your left. Keep the hands pressing together so you can expand your chest and upper back. Now allow your thoracic spine here to melt forward towards your chest. One more breath. Twist it out. Crescent lunge. Warrior two, sink low. Nice. Now, Libby on screen and everyone in the studio, send your tailbone down toward the floor. So you're going to feel this lifting up in the front of the pelvis. For some of us, the hips actually change. For some of us, it's just a feeling of pulling in those muscles. Can you feel that in your own body? Stay low. Extended side angle. Reach past the front of your mat. Nice. Now pull your jawbone straight back towards your neck. One more breath. Reach both arms forward. Chaturanga on your exhale. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Full breath in. Exhale it out. Move your feet to your hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose. Sit down. Reach high. Place your gaze at one spot right between your two sets of fingertips. Now, with your gaze fixed, can you pull your arms back out of your peripheral vision? Yeah, get them on the back, working. One more breath. Hands to heart center, twist to your right. You've got 3 breaths here. Inhales to lengthen and twist out on the exhale. Last one in. Twist it out. Back to chair, sit lower. Hands to heart center, twist left. You got it. 3 breaths in and out. Find those pauses. Last one in and out. Back to chair. Fold. Fingers to toes, forward fold. Take your peace fingers. Wrap them around your big toes. Drop your head. Drop your shoulders. Let gravity take it away here. So what does it mean to surrender in the top half of your body? What can you let go of? Oh, love that. Take your elbows here out toward the sides of your mat and pull down a little bit further on your toes. Release your toes. Inhale, chair pose. We're going to move with our breath this time all together. So sit low, reach high. Breath in to get long. Hands to heart center, twist to your right. Inhale as you open your arms. Exhale to twist a little more. Inhale back to chair. Hands to heart center, twist left. Inhale, open. Exhale, twist. Nice. Inhale, chair. And fold. Palms to toes this time, gorilla pose. So place the backs of your hands on your mat and step onto your palms. Get your toes as close to your wrists as they can go here. And then create here that same turning out of the elbows past the sides of your mat so you can pull down on your feet. Nice. And then, of course, that creates a little bit of tension between the shoulders. So can you let that melt then as well? Nice. Release your feet. Crow pose. Crow pose, got a squat. You could tip your crow over into another inversion. You take what you need to make your practice feel like your practice here. Pull in with your knees. Press out with your elbows. If you've got 10 toes off the ground here, can they come together? Nice. And once the toes are together, can the heels come together? Press into center. One more breath. Step or hop back, chaturanga. Nice. Drop back, up dog. Downward facing dog. Breath in. Empty it out. Breath in. Empty it out. Move to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Fold. Eagle pose. Come all the way up to stand. Take your right arm under, right leg over, and have a seat. Settle your drishti here on one spot. Something specific. So you've got a focused gaze, but let it be soft, something right in front of you. Nice. And once you've got that, add your breath back in. Find the pause at the top. Find the pause at the bottom. Nice. One more. Switch sides. Left arm under, left leg over. Create your spine as tall as you can get it here. So start from the bottom of your spine. Send your tailbone down to the floor. And then pull your front ribs back towards center. You want them stacked directly over top of your hips. And then you might feel here in your own body that the more the bones are stacked, the less work your muscles are doing to keep you at center. And when you come out, go right back in. Drishti settled. You've got 2 more breaths. On your exhale, both feet to the ground. Very nice. Standing leg raise, right side. Grab your knee, grab your toe, grab a strap. Externally rotate to the right. Gaze moves to the left. Flex your lifted foot here. And then see about creating that knee at 90 degrees. For most of us, the ankle is coming in toward the standing leg. Can you send it out? Yeah, so you've got a plumb line straight down to the floor. Come back to center, airplane. Send your foot straight back. All 5 of those toes down toward the floor. Now our bodies go where we look. So if your drishti is straight down toward the floor, can you take it out maybe 5-6 feet away from your mat? Half moon. Fingertips to a block, super helpful here to bring the floor a little closer. Kick back through that lifted leg. The more of those muscles you activate, the lighter the leg gets. One more breath. Both feet to the ground. Nice. Inhale, extended mountain at the top of your mat. Get as tall as you can. Standing leg raise on your left. Knee, toe, or strap, then externally rotate. Take your drishti 1 point at a time, all the way over your fingertips. Flex your lifted foot. Nice. So the sole of your foot is parallel to the floor. Just like that. Bring it back to center, airplane. Lift your chest here. And I'm not sure of the exact anatomy behind this, but you can probably feel this in your own body. If that leg is straight, it's hard to lift the chest. So add a little bit of bend to your standing knee, and now lift the chest. Nice. Keep that alignment right there. Open up half moon. Pull your front ribs into center. Nice. Now pull the jawbone straight back towards your neck. Just like that, Libby. One more breath in. Both feet to the mat. Nice. Inhale, extended mountain at the top. Take dancer pose on your right. So reach for the inside of your right ankle. Notice here in your body that the soft part of your elbow is facing out and your thumb is toward the ceiling. Nice fixed drishtis. Take them way out in front of your mat. Switch sides. Dance it on over to the left. Yeah, and then get right into it. Drop the stories about this is how I always get into dancer, or this is how my dancer looks. Maybe this is how far I always take dancer. Play with the edge, just explore it. You don't have to get past it today, but just feel where it is. Both feet to the mat. Tree pose, right side. Place your right foot anywhere onto your leg that you'd like, except for the inside of the knee. So above the knee, below the knee, toes on the floor, it's all fair game. Press your foot down, express your tree. Press down through the big toe mound of your standing foot. Nice. Now pull the front ribs back in over center. Switch sides. Press down, lift up, pull into center, and then make your biggest tree. Choose to create a bigger breath. Choose to create your fingertips as part of the pose. Choose that your drishti stays on that one particular spot you set it on. One more breath. Both feet down. Inhale, extended mountain at the top of your mat. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga on your exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward for triangle pose. Take up all the space on your mat here, front to back. Can you reach your left fingertips even further toward the ceiling? Nice. And if it feels right, you can head for that back bend there by peeling the top shoulder back. Stay lifted. Side facing wide leg forward fold. 10 toes to the left side of your mat. Take a fold. Your opportunity here for some sort of inversion, for some sort of movement, or take the stillness. Those of us staying here at center, bend your knees just a little. And for some of us, it's super easy just to let them lock out, and they do it automatically. Keep the bend. Get complete in your side to side movement. On an inhale, rise all the way to stand. Namaste, front facing forward fold. You choose your bind. Take your legs here, your feet a little bit wider than they usually are in your warrior one, and then take your fold from there. We want to feel that our hips here are even. Nice. And right here, can you pull the pit of your belly all the way in and up to your spine? Press down through both feet. Keep your hips right where they are and twist your triangle. Left arm down, right arm to a T or toward the ceiling, opposite direction. Yeah, and then the hips stay right where they are as long as that back foot stays anchored. When you feel that back foot starts to come up, take a shorter stance. One more breath. Chaturanga on your exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Exhale it out. Step your left foot forward, triangle. As big of a triangle as you can get. Now start to create it here in your body that your left side rib cage, that whole side of the body, is running parallel to the floor. So what this pose creates in most of us, if we're reaching all the way to the floor, is kind of a C-shaped bend. If your block needs to be higher, so be it. Rest your fingertips on a really high block so you get the length here. Let it land. Side facing wide leg forward fold. Another inversion, more movement. Maybe a bind behind the back here. I've been really enjoying using the strap in the bind here. Yeah, and then if you've got the strap between your hands, see if you can inch your hands a little bit closer together and just notice what the edge there is. No need to go past what's comfortable or what feels good for the shoulders, but just notice how close can those hands come together. If you can remember what side you started on, get complete on your side to side movement. And on your next inhale, rise all the way to stand. Namaste, front facing forward fold. Choose a bind or no bind. If you want to bring your fingertips down toward the floor for pyramid pose, keep the shoulders active on your back. So in most cases, we're retracting the shoulders onto the back. Since we're hinged over here, the shoulders are moving toward the ceiling. Nice. And then can you squeeze your shoulder blades together? So much work happening right here. Twist your triangle. And then again here, whether you're twisting in your triangle or in your splits here, stay as lifted as you can through the whole front side of your torso. Let it land, get long. Chaturanga on your exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breath in. Exhale it out. Roll yourself out to a high plank. Lower all the way down toward the floor. Locust pose when you get there. Yeah, take your time. Press down, lift up. Reach the crown of your head past the front of your mat. So if I were standing up here by the windows, all I want to see is the tops of everyone's head from here. Nice, just like that. One more big breath. Lower all the way down. Take your feet side to side if they need it. Locust number 2, press down, rise up. Can you squeeze the outsides of your legs in here? So we want each leg pulling in skin to muscle to bone, and then everything pulling in its center. One more breath. Come on down to your mat. Take a cheek to the floor, feet left to right. Floor bow. Outer or inner edges of your ankle. Send your shins back to the back of the mat. And then if you've got a hold of the tops of your feet here, see if you can reach for the ankle. That way we can flex the feet and press them up toward the ceiling. One more breath. Lower all the way down. Breath in together and out. Floor bow number 2. Really flex your feet here. Press them to the ceiling. Nice. Press the soles of your feet up. Yes, just like that. Hold it for 2 more breaths. You've got it. On your exhale, lower all the way down. Take your feet side to side. Place your hands at your lowest ribs. Upward facing dog. Come all the way up and stay. Can you press your thoracic spine forward through your chest? Bent elbows just a little. One more breath. Downward facing dog. Breath in. Exhale it out. Camel pose. Bring your knees to the ground. And get your water, get your towel, then set yourself up tall, center of your chest toward the ceiling for camel. And I'll use Chuck here as the example. What we want to create in the thoracic spine is a pressing up and forward. So he can almost lean back into my hand. Yeah, lean all the way back. And we want that pressing up so you've got length all the way. One more big breath. On an inhale, come up and out. Take downward facing dog or high hero. Really lengthen your spine. If you're like me in camel pose, you need a moment to let the stars go away. So let that happen. And then bring your feet all the way around. Bridge pose. Lay flat on your back and knees to the ceiling. Set yourself up here so your heels are stacked under your knees. Press down, rise up. Bridge pose number 1. And then once you've got your hips at the top, notice here where the ankles are. For some of us, the ankles are a little closer to the bottom. We want them right underneath the knees. Yeah, that's less work for your muscles to do. One more breath here. Lower all the way down. Take a breath in together, a breath out together, and you have got 6 more back bends. Bridge or wheel. You decide where to go. Press down, rise up. Stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down, breath in. Exhale it out. Inhale as you rise. Coming up on the inhale, so we fill the chest with breath as we come up. It's really easy once we're in those back bends for the breath to be a little difficult to take in. Lower all the way down, breath in and out. Inhale as you rise. Whatever is touching the floor here, press it down. One more breath and lower. Breath in and out. Inhale, rise. Number 5, feet on 12 o'clock. So most of us kneel, and everyone bring your toes a little closer together. Yeah, bring them in until they can touch my fingertips. Yeah, come down, breath in and out. Last one, come on up. Let's try it again. Yeah, keep your heels right where they are and bring the toes closer together. Yes, right there is where you want to be. Now press your knees in just a little. Last breath. Lower all the way down. Supta Baddha Konasana, soles together, knees wide. Yeah, take what you need here. An extra sigh, an extra long inhale. Yeah, we just intuitively know that like breath is medicine. And when we're feeling like we need it, we know what to give our bodies. We know what they want. More oxygen always. Dead bug. Grab the outer edges of your feet, the backs of your thighs, or the front of your shins. Whichever one of those positions allows you to keep your sacrum on the floor. So let your head rest heavy on your mat. Let your shoulders rest heavy on your mat. Can rock side to side for happy baby if that would feel nice. Take your feet all the way to the ceiling. We get to experience stability. Aren't we lucky? Go ahead and bring your right leg halfway down to the floor. Switch on your exhale. You go with your pace. Bring your breath back to that Ujjayi breathing. Notice in your body what difference a longer inhale makes. Send your feet all the way up. On an exhale, lower them 30 degrees to the floor. Breathe in here. Exhale 30 more. Breathe in here. Exhale down to hover. Take a look at your toes. Yeah, and keep breathing. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, send them up. Exhale, lower 30. Breathe in. Exhale, lower 30. Breathe in. Exhale, lower to hover. Take a look. Stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet all the way up. Set yourself up for abdominal twists. Knees stack over your hips. Elbows out wide. Your pace side to side. Yeah, and you can choose to keep the legs here at center or extend them one and then the other. Really keep the elbows wide, so it's almost like you're bringing your armpit towards your elbow. Nice, Erica. You feel that big difference that made. Feel the twist coming from your obliques. Take one more on each side. Then hug your knees into center. Roll like a ball forward and back all the way up to sit for boat pose. Create your boat, feet on the floor or heels can be lifted. You can hold behind your shins or your legs for support or lift them. Lift your chest. Pull your jawbone straight back. One more breath. Hug your knees, rock back and forth. Make your way to right side half pigeon. And then you choose here if that happens on your back or on your belly. Plenty of wall space. If you're taking this in the figure 4, that's a great way to take it with your feet up on the wall. Lengthen your inhales and your exhales. Be a yes for letting gravity take over in this pose. Put your attention on your hips and let them sink. And that's different for all of us. There may not have been any movement there, but just that letting go of all the muscles around your hips. Let your muscles know that, like, it's okay if we want to go further, we can. Switch sides. And then what does it take on this side to do that same thing, to be a yes for gravity, to be a yes for surrender and letting go? Where in your body do you feel that there's some tension you could give up here, or some holding back that you could give up? You've got 3 more breaths. Swing your right leg all the way around. We'll come to seated single leg extension. So right leg extends forward, left leg in like tree pose. Inhale to lift all the way to the ceiling. Exhale, fold forward. Take at least a micro bend in your knee here. And then evaluate if a bigger one is needed. If you're starting to feel a big C-shaped curve in your back, that's an indication that you need a bigger bend in your leg. Switch sides. Left leg extends. Create the bend first, at least a small one. Reach up and fold over. You can let your head drop. You can let your shoulders round. Seated forward fold, both legs extended. You choose if they're out wide or if you want to bring the ankles together in front. On an inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold forward. Keeping at least a little bend. Nice. Now, think about lengthening out your back here. So that starts with the bowl of your pelvis. You want to tilt it forward, almost like you were spilling a bowl of water forward towards your toes. Release your toes, tabletop or reverse plank. Take a breath or two here just to get that big stretch all across the front side of the body. Press your hands down. Can you retract your shoulders? Lower all the way down to your mat. Let's get upside down. Your feet over your hips, maybe your hips over your heart. If you've got a headstand or handstand practice, take that on at the top of your mat or take up some wall space. Shoulder stands and waterfalls. Go for it. Maybe there's a block under the hips for some support. Nice. Now stack your heels here directly over top of your hips. Pull in, skin to muscle to bone, both legs. Turn the inner ankles back slightly. Yeah, and when we're standing and we do that, we feel a lift all the way up through the hips. Can you feel that same sensation just upside down here? Shoulder stands and waterfalls can move to plow if you'd like. Bring your toes all the way toward the floor behind you. And plows can move to deaf yogi. Bring your knees down around your ears. Nice. Really let your back round. Now, using your arms as brakes, roll all the way out onto your mat, one vertebra at a time. When your hips touch the mat, bring your knees into center and drop them to the right for a supine twist. Erica and Libby, I'll invite you if you'd like to dim your lights, go ahead and do that. If you have something nice prepared for yourself for Shavasana, partake. Breathe through the left side of your rib cage here. Sending so much air into that side of the body that you might feel the ribs start to separate a little and then come back together. Bring the knees into center, drop them over to your left. Send your breath here into the whole right side of your rib cage. You may even feel the bottom ribs start to expand and flare out. You're welcome. In studio, you've all got a cold towel waiting for you. Please feel free to take advantage of that when you're ready for it. Bring your knees back to center, Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of your feet together, take your knees wide. Let's take 2 clearing breaths together. On an inhale, fill all the way up and sigh it out your mouth. One more like that, fill and empty. Shavasana, take your legs and arms out long and wide. Create this pose in a way that you feel completely supported by the mat beneath you. As your breath returns to a natural pace, you might notice here how the breath here differs from the one that you walked in with. You might feel a sense of ease or lightness to the breath. You might feel more expansive in your lung capacity. Begin to deepen your breath. Bring some small movements back to your fingers and your toes. Roll out your wrists and ankles. Take a big stretch and make your way to infant's pose. Bring your knees in towards your chest and rock to your right side. Again, creating this pose in a way where you feel that unconditional support from the ground beneath you. Press your left hand into the floor to rise up to a comfortable seat. Eyes closed or drishti settled right in front of your nose. On an inhale, we'll reach for the ceiling. Exhale, hands to heart center. And we'll end as we began with 3 ohms together. Breath in. Thumb knuckles rise to third eye center. We bow and acknowledge each other. Namaste. Great job, yogis. Thank you so much, Libby and Erica, for joining us. Good to have you both and our other friends online. Questions, comments, feedback, I'm here for it. If you're interested in signing up for any of those workshops we discussed, I can help you out with that after class. Leave your props up here on the floor so I know which ones need to be wiped down, and watch your eyes.